Welcome everyone to episode 4 of the SMU AthleTechCompliance webinar. I am your host, Rob Hoyer, Assistant Athletics Director for Compliance here at SMU. And today we are going to examine the use of Google Forms in your compliance enterprise. The first 3 episodes, we took a deep dive into the use of Evernote into your compliance enterprise, and we're going to hit pause on that for this month, and we're going to take a look at Google Forms and a way to incorporate this tool, this free tool, into your compliance arsenal, if you will. And so we last month we took a look at how Evernote can help catalog rules education, and this month we're going to take a look at how Google Forms can help catalog some other more real-time information, specifically some monitoring information. And we're going to close with showing a way that SMU Compliance is going to be using Google Forms to incorporate one of the new, I say new, maybe one of the reenacted pieces of legislation that is now on the books again this year as a part of the reform on college basketball. So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me pause the video here, and we'll prepare the screen share, and we'll get ready to go here. All right, we are live. We're looking at the screen share here. This is my Google Forms library, if you will. And so the first thing that we're going to take a look at is how to build one of these things. It's very easy, and so we're actually going to demonstrate how to do that right now. We're going to click on this blank template here, and we're going to start with what I would refer to as an employment survey. This is a tool that we used when I was a graduate assistant at Marshall, and it was, in that time, done on a sheet of paper. Everyone filled it out, and we were asking the question, are you currently working, yes or no? Check the box, yes or no, sign it, hand it in. That was one way that we were able to monitor, at least keep an eye out for student athletes whose employment status maybe has changed since the start of the academic year when we asked for that information at the beginning of the year paperwork. So we're going to build this as an employment survey. We'll call the title employment survey, and we'll click the form title here. It automatically populated, as you see there. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to ask for the student athlete name. Okay, and as you'll see, Google guessed the type of question that we were going to be asking, and so it automatically populated it as a short answer question. Very good job, Google. We are going to require that question because we're going to want to know who we're receiving this information from. And then the next question, we're going to add a question here. Are you currently employed? Okay, and then it sees that I want to ask a multiple choice question. It even pre-populates some possible answers for me. I do like those, so we're going to hit add all. Yes, no, maybe. Well, we're going to take maybe out because you're either employed or you're not. You're not maybe employed, so we'll leave that as yes or no, and then we're going to require that answer as well. And then I'm going to add a new section here, and the reason for that is because if, depending upon the answer, we're going to send them to answer some more supplemental questions. And so this section, we'll just call this employment information. And for the purposes of this, I'm just going to ask 3 really easy questions. One, we're going to ask, where are you employed? And it gives a short answer. We're going to give that as a required as well. We're going to ask, what is your supervisor's name? Short answer. We're going to require that as well. And then a third question, we're going to ask, what is your employer's phone number, question mark. Also a short answer. I'm not going to require that one just for the purposes of demonstration, but you get the idea. If they were to answer yes, you're currently employed, we want them to answer these questions. Well, how do we do that? Google includes a tool to be able to do that. So I'm going to click back on this question. I'm going to click on these 3 dots right here, and it'll allow me to go to a section based on the answer given. And so if the person answers, yes, I'm currently employed, we're going to have them go to the employment information section. And then, no, I'm not currently employed, we're going to allow them to submit the form. All right. And that is all we need to be able to build an employment survey. And again, this can serve as like a checkpoint or a touch point partway during the year. It can be done multiple times during the year, surveying your student athletes, saying, hey, has your job status changed? And so from here, we're going to take a look at the preview. So this survey is live. This survey is live. And so we're gonna demonstrate it. Athlete name, Rob Hoyer. We'll start with no. Are you currently employed? Just to see what happens when I click on that. Submit to finish. There we go. So as you can see, my response has been recorded, and this number has changed to 1. That used to be nothing here, and that is happening in real time. The response is showing up in real time. For the purposes of demonstration, let's do another response. You saw the 1, so let's do another. Are you currently employed? Yes, currently employed. Now it skips to the employment information section. Where are you employed? SMU. What is my supervisor's name? Kyle Conder. And what is the employer's phone number? We'll just we'll put a fake phone number in there for him. This is not Kyle's phone number. Just be aware of that. I'm putting this in just for demonstration purposes. So submit. And as you'll see, our response tab has changed. And so if there is, for whatever reason, you need to print off an individual's employment survey, you can look at each individual record this way. Here's the first one I filled out. No, not currently employed. 2, the second one I filled out. Yes, currently employed with all the information. You'd be able to hit this print response button, and it would print this out in form format. All right. And so that is one way that you can help monitor and use Google Forms to do it. The main reason that I am such a big fan of Google Forms as a way to collect data is that if your form is housed in Google Forms, it can be manipulated into a spreadsheet. And so, as you may have just seen me do, I clicked on these 3 dots. I downloaded the responses as a CSV file. That's also known as a comma separated value file. So I'm going to open this up, and it comes up into a spreadsheet. Now, imagine that we're not demonstrating a form that only has 2 responses, but more so imagine a form that has been sent out to our entire student-athlete population. At SMU, on any given day, we have around 424 student-athletes. So this sheet would be full of responses from line 2 all the way down to through 424. And there's a lot of data there that you would want to be able to sort through. You'd be able to sort through by you could add a team to this if you wanted to sort by team. You could sort by name. You could search for the name. And so this find feature is the main reason I love when reports are able to be exported into a spreadsheet, is this find function. So we'll close out of that. And next, we're going to hop on over to we'll go back to the questions, and then now we're going to demonstrate a mobile form. And so I'm going to move over a live look at my mobile device right here. You'll see I'm scrolling, and we're going to now demonstrate the functionality if you were to utilize this to capture your coach's off-campus recruiting information. And so we're going to start, as you can see, we'll expand this a little to black out the background, and then I'm going to click on the contacts log form that I have built in advance, again, for the purposes of this demonstration. And so we're going to scroll down, see the contacts log. We put some sports in. We have more sports at SMU than just this, but I wanted to give a small grouping of them. So let's say we're going to put men's soccer. Our men's soccer coaches are out on the road. Contact start date allows me to put today's date. Contact end date, also today's date. We went to a competition. That competition was earlier this afternoon, and after the competition has been released from competition by the appropriate authority, we went and did a home visit, and number of coaches in attendance, we'll select 2. I realize that there are not 10 coaches in the sport of soccer, but also want to make sure that you know that it's a number that had to be loaded regardless of how many coaches your teams are allowing. That is a little bit of a limitation. It won't select the number of coaches based on the sport that you're providing or the sport that you're inputting. So Dallas, we're going to put that in as the contact city and state, and then contact notes, great, keeper, and then submit. All right. So we'll move this off the screen share. We'll move back to contacts log. And here's kind of the under the hood, behind the scenes look of what the form looks like to build. And as you'll see, we have 1 response. That's me. That's what I just put in there. And so this data is, again, updated in real time. So we'll take a look, download those responses into a CSV. Open that up. You'll see the information I just put in there is in the Excel spreadsheet. As this form keeps having data added to it, you're going to want to probably utilize this data filter button. If you want to filter out by date or by sport or anything like that, that would be a great reason to put all this stuff into Excel. It will accumulate the more data you put into it year by year, month by month, and so that's just your recruiting records are going to keep building upon themselves. So we won't save that. Next, the next form I'm going to demonstrate here is an official visit request. The one that we just demonstrated was from a mobile device, and so because your coaches are going to be on mobile devices while they're out on the road recruiting, we wanted to demonstrate that and some of the potential that exists in trying to capture some of that data as it's happening. This is more of a desktop form that we're putting out there. This could also be filled out on a mobile device, but generally when my coaches fill out an official visit request, they are sitting behind their desk at their computer. So we're going to fill that out. Prospect's name. This is, again, the background, kind of under the hood look at how it looks. So we're going to click this preview button, and now the form is live. So prospect's name, put my name in there, sport, we'll choose football, prospect's address, 1234 All-Star Lane, eligibility center ID. All right, we'll just say I was the first person enrolled in the eligibility center. Anticipated enrollment semester, we'll go fall of 2020. And high school prospect. Arrival date on campus, we'll just say 4/5, that's a Friday at 10 a.m. And then we'll have the person depart April 7th at 9 a.m. That fits within the 48-hour time limitation. Since this person is coming from Dallas, they are taking a personal vehicle to campus. Guests, mom, dad, sister, brother, who's serving as a student host. Kyle Condor in as a student host. And then type the name in to count as a signature, submit, and you have your official visit request form data captured into a spreadsheet that could be put into a CSV format and manipulated in other ways. As you'll see here, here's the response. Here's the response that we have happening in real time. And this is a way that we can, again, capture that information. So one of the other things that I mentioned as a way that you can utilize Google Forms is outside income declaration. All right, this is the way that I teased kind of in the beginning of the of the webinar today on a way that we at SMU are going to use Google Forms to capture the information that we are now being, once again, asked to collect as far as outside income from our coaches. And so you'll see some instructions that we have here at the top and some of the questions that are being asked. So let's take a look at what that form looks like. All right, so between August 1, 2018 and July 31, 2019, I did receive athletically related outside income. No, I did not. So we'll hit next, have an attestation, and submit. This has been recorded. As you can see here, no, this is the response that was just put in live. So individual, there we go. We'll go do another submit response again for the purposes of demonstration. We're going to say yes, I did collect outside athletically related income during this past year. So now this brings us to the new section. Apparel equipment not arranged by SMU. Yes, let's say I got $100 worth of apparel for that. Consultant contracts. Yes, I got $50 for that. Non-SMU camps or clinics, no money there. No money there. Housing benefits, no money there. No country club membership. No, I have not been paid to appear on television or radio. Surprisingly, no one is beating down my door to do that. So we'll just put in 0 there. Speaking engagements, I did convince someone to pay me $25 to do a speaking engagement. So there we go. Private lessons, everything else is 0. And so we'll hit next, and that brings us back to this attestation page, and submit, and then the data has been captured. As you'll see, the responses are in there. We'll move forward to the one that was just added. Yes, here we go, and we'll pop open the CSV download. And as you can see here, the fact that all of these numbers are in a spreadsheet format, if for whatever reason you need to total all of these numbers either per person or per category, you'd be able to do that. It'd be a lot easier since the data is already in a spreadsheet rather than having to, by hand, enter it into a calculator and try tabulating all of the information that way. So with that, we threw a lot of information at you. At once. So with that, I'm going to hit pause here, and I'm going to turn off the screen share for a second and open it up to see if there's anybody who has any questions. Looks like we do have a question. Where are these forms stored? Where is this data stored? That's a great question. So one of the things that we do is we create an account that stays with the office, a Google account that stays with the office, and built in that office account, sent out from that office account to be able to take that data and keep it there. We don't want the data to go with a person in the event of turnover or things like that, so that data will stay with the office. Another question, can Google Forms give you an alert when a new form is submitted? Also a great question. The answer to that is yes. Google Forms can do that. So I'm going to restart the share here. All right, and so for our outside income form that you're seeing right here, we're going to there's this option right here. It says get email notifications for new responses. If you check that box, Google will send an email to the email address logged with the Google account every time a new form is submitted to let you know that yes, this has been done. Very important for one of the forms that we went over, an official visit request. Sometimes those aren't turned in a lot of time in advance, so getting an email alert is a really good, timely way to find out that information is sitting there waiting to be reviewed. And so that's definitely an option. So that's a great question there. I'll turn that off for the purposes of this demonstration. And then that is all we have. Thank you all for joining us here on the SMU AthleTech Compliance webinar. Our next webinar is going to be Tuesday, May 7th, and we're going to continue to look at Google Forms, this time as an educational tool. Thank you all for being here, and have a great month. We'll see you in May.